It was a diplomatic spat that was sparked off by a High Court ruling upholding a warrant of arrest for a foreign head of state. The ruling yielded immediate repercussions for Kenya. President Omar Hassan al-Bashir, the target of the ICC warrant, immediately recalling his ambassador to Kenya while giving the country's envoy to Sudan 72 hours to leave Khartoum. A seemingly rattled government was to see its president, Mwai Kibaki, forced to move with speed, sending Foreign Affairs Minister Moses Wetangula and Defense Minister Yusuf Haji to calm the diplomatic storm. And after a 1.5-hour meeting with Bashir and his foreign minister this afternoon, the two jetted back into the country to announce the crisis had been averted.
The ambassador was leaving Khartoum at midnight last night. We were able to stop that.
The emergency mission to Khartoum had been successful.
Sudan had set out a raft of reprisal issues on Kenya that would have had some negative effect on both our economy and our comfort as a country.
The minister outlined a list of reprisals Sudan had been planning.
That all flights to and from Kenya of whatever airlines do not fly Sudanese airspace. We managed to remove that. He had also instructed his government to sever all trade links with Kenya. He had also instructed his government to expel Kenyans numbering over 1,000.
Punitive measures that Kenya is not willing to take, even if it means disregarding or contesting a ruling made by its courts.
Our courts can decide what they want. As the executive, we have the right to voice opinions over them.
The executive has come under criticism for attacking the ruling in public pronouncements instead of challenging it in court.
And unfortunately, the utterances that have been emanating seek to disparage the judicial system rather than respect the rule of law and say this is the decision, our courts have made this decision, and so we are going to appeal that decision, and explain that to their allies.
These concerns are raised by Chief Justice Willy Mutunga yesterday and now echoed by human rights organizations, probably a sign that the storm is far from over.
So what people like Mr. Wetangula are exposing when they speak as they do is that they actually do not take the Constitution seriously.
Whether or not IGAD likes the decision, for me, it is a fascinating display of contempt for the citizens of this country. For them to think that because sitting as heads of state somewhere else, having a discussion about our country, that they can then decide how our courts should proceed.
President Omar al-Bashir is wanted by the International Criminal Court for alleged war crimes, crimes against humanity and genocide committed in Darfur. Kenya, having ratified the Rome Statute, is obliged to execute the warrants. However, the country is also bound by an African Union Assembly resolution not to enforce the warrant of arrest.
The Vienna Conventions on Immunity of States and Heads of State emboldens this country not to harass, intimidate, or arrest presidents of other countries.
Wetangula maintains that the government has few options, even if it loses an appeal in court.
I'll advise the executive not to arrest him.